Morning, everybody. Good morning to you. This is your guy Willie Cunningham coming back at you again with yet another video. Today's video, I wanted to talk to you all about failure and why failure is important and why it's perfectly okay. Now, it may seem like redundant, you hear it a lot, and I'm just not trying to come up with anything new. I'm not trying to come up with anything out of thin air, but I'm trying to reinforce what we already know to be true and to drive it home and to encourage each and every individual out there that there is no perfect person. There really isn't. You show me a person that don't make mistakes, and I'll show you somebody that's perfect. And the only way to be that perfect, you gotta be some kind of god or a robot, some kind of comic book superhero. And we all know those don't exist. They sound good, they look good on TV, but they're not real. So if you're a human being just like I am, if you get upset when somebody says something offensive, if you, bleed when somebody cuts you, then you are human. Um, and like I said, what I'm talking about is nothing new. I've just been realizing a lot of young men and women out here that they try new things. And you know what? I want to applaud you all for trying new things because most of the time, if you're talking about you making mistakes, then that means that you're trying new things. And that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So I want to congratulate you for trying something new because whatever it is, if it's new to you or if you haven't done it in a while, then that's good because it reprograms your brain. It gives your brain different signals. It breaks that monotony or it breaks your old patterns of doing the same thing every single day. I used to play the trumpet back in elementary school, and it had been years and years since I picked it up to play it, man. But before I could read music, I could, memorize the notes and all that and just play the scale really good on my own. And I was in a little band in school, and then years went by and years went by, and finally I decided to. Somebody had gave me a trumpet, and I still didn't play it. I kept it in this container, and one day I took it out, and man, it had been so long since I picked it up to play it that all I could really play was the scale, Uh, and it was even hard for me to learn how to blow into the mouthpiece. But it's the same thing when you want to try something different. Like some of y'all know, if you watch me closely, I've been learning how to cut hair. And when I first started out, I was terrible. And that was to be expected though. But see, that's the thing too. Here's a tip for you all. Like, if you don't know it, you should know this, that when you try new things, you should expect to make mistakes. You should expect things to crash and burn. But just because things crash and burn does not mean that you stop and that you give up. A chef in the kitchen, unless they were born with those natural instincts to know how much to add, to a recipe, or they watch their parents cook in the kitchen, something like that, then you're never going to have those skills as a chef that you really want, you know. But just because a chef, burns something in the kitchen one time, if they got any kind of fortitude or perseverance, they're not going to give up. But the only way to get better is to not give up and keep going. There's the only way to get better at anything. Do you remember when you rode your bike the first time? A lot of us had training wheels on our bikes, and helmets and knee pads, and that we had all the works, man. They had the bubble wrap on some kids, but Some kids manage to almost fall with training wheels on the bike too. But then when they finally come off, what happens? The parents know, and some of the little kids know that as soon as the training wheels come off, get ready to fall. You fall so many times, you scrape your knee, you bang your elbow, hit your head, you get up, your mom or your dad or your friend, whoever's there with you, if they're good, they will always sit there and try to encourage you to get back up, try again. And you know that you're hurting and they know that you're hurting, but they're teaching you something despite the pain, despite the shame and the embarrassment. You know, it's embarrassing to fall down and you see your big brother or you see your older friend out there riding free. It's embarrassing to sit there and, keep falling down and keep getting scraped up. But it's what you have to do in order to get better. So don't feel bad because things didn't turn out like you wanted. That's life. There's a lot of things in my life that I wish would have turned out differently. Did I like it? No, I didn't. And sometimes it takes a long time to pass through your mind and to start making you a better person. A lot of people don't realize this. They don't know this about me, but I used to be on drugs really bad. I used to be homeless. I was out there in a bad way. And I've always been a mellow, kind of quiet guy until I started getting drunk or until I started doing certain drugs. And it took me a while to calm down from that because I did a lot of things I wish I wouldn't have did, man. I stole from people. I can't say everything because it wasn't that long ago, to be honest. But I did a lot of dirt to people that trusted me, and I wish that I could take that stuff back, but I can't. And in my mind, one way I can repay those people that I hurt is to show them and to show the community that I'm a changed person and I don't live that life anymore. Because now I know how it feels to be addicted to something, to be caught up mentally and physically, and you can't pull out of it. Now, those were some mistakes that I made in my life. And I got to give honor and credit to God, the man above, that he helped me to get past that stuff and to change it all around. Because I would probably still be doing the exact same thing I was doing years ago, locked up in jail, on the streets, trying to break into somebody's house so I can get high. Now, were those mistakes? Some of them. But then again, some of them was also intentional. Like, I meant to do some of those things. I can't call them all mistakes. But they were things that I regret, which is the point. But that's a little bit of my story, my testimony. So what's yours? What are things that you had to overcome? What are things that you are currently overcoming? You know, if people tell me they're doing bad, they're homeless, they're struggling some kind of way, like, I know how that feels, I really do. I'm just blessed enough to have that opportunity to change things around to where I can own my own business, and I cleaned up some of my past. Like, I'm blessed, and it feels honor. It's an honor to say that, like, to really be here. Like, I'm free. I'm not in jail right now. I'm not in prison. And it was, man, so easy. I could have easily been locked up in prison for 10, 15, 20 years. Really, I could have. But I was blessed enough to avoid all that. And no, I didn't snitch on nobody. I'm just saying that things happened to me that I wised up before it got to that point. But, you know, let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you're brave enough, share a story. It ain't gotta be nothing that deep like what I went through. You know, maybe it was just trying to pass an exam or trying to get some kind of certification, you know. But the more you struggle through it, the greater it feels when you achieve it. So I want you all to realize that, like, yeah, being like a diamond, when you first pick up a diamond, you don't see the glittery, shiny stuff. It looks dirty. It's hard to get. And when you're cleaning it, it seems like you're never going to get to the real thing. But after all that time and patience and waiting, that's when you start seeing that thing getting cleared off, and that diamond starts to appear. And then you take it to the jeweler and he shapes it, and he can put that thing in the earring or a diamond ring or whatever. And that's how we all have to be as individuals. Like, we have to look past all the rough stuff and know that the rough stuff is supposed to happen. if it's free, there's something more to it. You know, a free newspaper, somebody still had to pay to produce that newspaper. Maybe it was free to me and you, but it wasn't free altogether because stuff costs money. So anyway, that's all I got for today, everybody. I'm going to try to keep these coming, but for now, please enjoy this and give it a big like if it helped you or encouraged you. Leave a comment below and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Until next time, guys, it's Willie signing off. Peace.